Previously on Save Like a Bear, I said this about actor Tom Holland posting shirtless Instagram stories while asking fans to donate to charity. Because I'm not cynical though, and Tom Holland seems to be mostly made of rainbows and kittens, and not cynical either therefore, I don't know that he actually did this with the intention of being so attention-grabbing. I was wrong. Or perhaps I'm also made of rainbows and kittens and I was being naive. But this dude, or whoever runs his social media, knows exactly what they're doing to get the attention of his 42.8 million followers. Last Friday he posted a shirtless selfie to, in theory, thank his personal trainer for his work on Spider-Man 3. Now, contrary to the earlier mention, this isn't really de rigueur for Holly these days. Certainly not compared to what his Instagram feed looked like when he first got cast as Spider-Man. I guess they were having a lot of warm weather. I'm talking about posting shirtless pictures is not common for him anymore, not thanking people. He seems to do that quite a lot, and he doesn't need warm weather for that.
Thank you.
So it's not to say that his trainer didn't deserve a thank you.
Thank you.
But this was all for a good cause, because Holly, being the smart and well-defined cookie that he is, knew that this would guarantee most of the eyeballs of all of those many millions of followers were paying attention for the real news, which is that the Holland Family Trust, that the Holland Family Charity, the Brothers Trust, had restocked their online shop. The takeaway isn't that I should be more cynical, but if you want to use your social media more effectively, go and follow that guy. You might learn something, especially as he now has over 43 million followers. Hillary Rose at the Times didn't get the whole shirtless selfie thing and completely missed the message about the Brothers Trust, but that's okay. She's just a journalist. I wouldn't expect her to have all the facts. Don't be silly now. I went ahead and placed an order because said item was sold out previously. Given that I make content on personal finance, not much makes it onto my wish list, except for software subscriptions. But this had definitely been on my wish list. I have a parcel today, therefore. Unboxing anything is a novelty in this house. I've talked before about how, because my podcast and channel and blog and everything are called Save Like a Bear, there's sometimes this idea that you can never recommend spending on anything. And there is a concept called spavings, which argues that a lot of what people talk about as savings, they're actually talking about spending with a discount. And it's not really saving unless you put the money that you didn't spend locked away somewhere, obviously. Personally, I'm looking for spavings on laser eye surgery because I cannot see my screen right now without my contacts. But saving isn't really about zero spending, because there's also a step before that. It's about first generating as much income as possible as ethically as possible, which I also covered in a video and podcast episode about the critical reaction to cherry and something Joe Russo had said.
There is a lack of empathy in the world today.
And then that income gives you choices in life. And one of the options I want to have is to circulate that money back out into the world, not just so that the economy functions, but also by donating to things like my local food bank, whether it's the right time of year for a reverse advent calendar or not, or donating to something like the Brothers Trust, who are really good about sharing how that money helps and where it goes. Now, one thing I didn't realise that the various members of the Hollands also shared online was that they hand-pack these orders individually. It's no wonder that they're only able to do limited runs. Of course, that scarcity does tend to help people make a buying decision sooner rather than later, and on this occasion that benefits everyone involved. I wonder though if there isn't a way that they could be getting out more orders or have more in their shop if they weren't having to pack everything themselves. What would be really cool is if you had a donated or a cost-effective space like a church hall, and if Spider-Man fans could go for the day and help pack Brothers Trust merch into boxes. I bet fans would do that just as willingly as they would go to a screening for charity. I guess though, because of the Tom Holland connection, that there's possibly a personal security issue. I haven't really thought this idea through properly for viability. It's just a suggestion. I don't know how you organise these things. Anywho, the item in question was designed by Jessica Murray, who won a competition to do so. So that's also a really nice way to showcase someone's design skills and also just get your community involved. And the Brothers Trust supports various initiatives internationally, but these particular proceeds go towards Alex's wish. So I'll leave links to that if you want to know more. And what was in the box, if you're not familiar with all this?
What's in the box?
A mug, my fellow bears. Not just because I am sometimes a mug, or because I like mugging for the camera. You can tell I've been in lockdown a long time when I get this excited about a piece of tableware. To be fair to myself, I haven't received any parcels since December. I mean, I've ordered from Holland & Barrett about 10 times in the past year, but that doesn't mean that I received any parcels. This of course means it's time to retire my limited edition fine line mug. Sorry Harry, not Harry Holland, the other Harry, the one with the watermelon farm. To be honest, I wasn't drinking out of that because I have the hand-eye coordination of a squirrel on roller skates, upside down, paddling a canoe with a stick of candy floss for a paddle while blindfolded. Yeah, work that one out. One of the reasons I find saving so easy is that I just don't let myself have nice things very often. Because I'm so clumsy, I just expect they'll get broken. If it's not something that costs enough to warrant insurance, then that's a crying shame either way. I already smashed a gin bowl this year, and it didn't even have any gin in it. A whole year of lockdown, and almost no alcohol. My brother's trust mug shall be more of an ornament, therefore. But there's also something very satisfying about having something tangible for your donation, and the mugs are also made in the UK, so it supports the business that way as well. Ultimately, it's a reminder about the house to give what you can, where you can, and if you can't give money because you're still working on the generating income and saving and spaving part, then sometimes we can donate our time or our skills instead. And beyond that, the easiest way that anyone can help something that you think might do more good in the world is to share it with other people. And that right there is your permission to forward everyone you know a shirtless selfie of Tom Holland. Please think of the people that need help. Just help them out. Only joking. You're supposed to tell them about the Brothers Trust, of course. It's so easy to get confused about what you're supposed to do on a daily basis. Anyway, I've done all the hard work for you, so feel free to just forward this if you want to spread the word about mugs for charity, the concept of spavings, and how not to paddle a canoe. Go forth!
Don't you have an elsewhere to be?